Hello, welcome to On the Topic of Comics, episode
Hi,
1,
hi.
superhero movies. My name is Achi. We've got Big
I am Phelpsatron.
Phelpsatron Gaming over here, and today we are going to talk about our love for comic book movies. So thank you for joining, and we're going to kick right in with the superhero movies throughout the year. And as we discussed earlier, we'll talk about our first viewing of a superhero movie, if you will.
Yeah, like first memory of seeing a superhero movie.
Do you want to go first?
Is that because I'm old?
Yes.
Excellent. My probably my first actual memory of seeing a superhero film was a straight to TV Incredible Hulk.
Is that Lou Ferrigno?
With Lou Ferrigno?
Nice.
I
Yeah.
think that the first one I remember seeing was called, I think it was The Death of the Incredible Hulk, and I'd read a couple of like Little Hulk UK production comics, which are generally not particularly very good, but when I was a kid, that's all we could get hold of in the newsagents.
Yeah.
And it was called The Death of the Incredible Hulk, and he fell out of an aeroplane.
Right.
And I said that was the death of the Incredible Hulk, and I said to my mum, I've watched him do loads of stuff. He wouldn't die falling out of a plane.
Yeah.
My mum was just like, son, I don't know. All right.
So that's this film, I believe. Death of the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, that's the one.
You Google.
Nice. Yeah, that's the one.
I think I've seen that, and am I right in thinking that it's not actually Bruce Banner? It's
David Banner.
It's David Banner.
Yeah, they called him David Banner in that TV show.
Why was that? Do you know? Because I never knew. I think I've seen the film or seen bits of it, but I just didn't understand why.
No idea.
Right.
The other bits I remember, there's like the old Spider-Man films. Not that before Sam Raimi even thought about it. And they were great when you watched them, but it was kind of like a very budget Power Rangers. And when he shot his web, you could tell it was just a ball of string, like unraveling out of whatever they had. And he was more like a ninja than a Spider-Man.
Is it like this picture here? Because that looks like a ball of string.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's him.
The costume's not too bad, to be fair. The costume's pretty cool. I don't know about the leather boots.
Yeah, you wait till you see him shoot a web out.
Right. Nice.
But I was born in 1986, so the big deal then, Batman, Tim Burton's Batman, 1989.
And that was with
Michael Keaton,
yeah.
Jack Nicholson. Obviously, I didn't watch it when I was 3.
Yeah.
But probably when I was about 5. Because back when you could record things off the TV and it wouldn't tell you what age rating it was. But my mum was like, oh, it's Batman.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So that was Jack Nicholson as the Joker. And
yes, sir.
Bad guy in it, was there?
No. Back in the day, there was one bad guy per film.
So I know down the line, you had like, was it Val Kilmer with Dr. Freeze or Mr. Freeze?
So there was Tim Burton's Batman, and then there was Batman Returns, which had brought in the idea of 2 bad guys. So that was still Michael Keaton as Batman,
right.
Danny DeVito as Penguin, and Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. And then Batman Forever, which was Val Kilmer. Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face, Jim Carrey as the Riddler, and then introducing Chris O'Donnell as Robin.
Oh yeah, I remember the Robin.
Yeah.
How chuffed were you when? Sorry to change topic. How chuffed were you when George Clooney was cast as Batman, and they made the brilliant decision to give Batman the Batman suit with nipples?
I was too young to care.
Yeah.
If I'm honest. I was just like, there's another Batman film. And that's all I needed.
Personally,
so I got Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
Batman and Robin, George Clooney as Batman, Chris O'Donnell as Robin, Alicia Silverstone as Batgirl.
Yeah.
Alfred all being, oh, I'm a little bit poorly. Mr. Freeze, good old Arnold.
Yeah, Arnold.
And then Poison Ivy, Uma Thurman.
Yeah.
She's great. And Bane
Oh God, Bane. I
as
can't
well.
remember Bane in it. Yeah.
Big old Bane. Big old Bane.
So, actually, on that topic, we go from Danny DeVito, Penguin, to now I believe it's going to be Colin
Farrell.
Farrell?
Yeah.
What
Colin
are
Farrell.
your thoughts on that?
I think Colin Farrell's going to knock it out of the park.
He's a fantastic actor, so he's got no reason to not to.
Yeah.
But,
Colin Farrell is just throw it up. It's gone.
But are you under the superhero comic book fandom that the Penguin should be a short little fellow? Because that doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me. He wasn't in Gotham, true. And the guy, I didn't watch Gotham, but the guy seemed to pull off a good Penguin.
Yeah, he was a good Oswald Cobblepot.
Yeah,
and he was tall.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't bother me in the slightest if he's a bit taller. I mean, all these. If you look at these comic book films where they've got, like, obviously you've got the different actors of Batman, and whatnot. There's a lot of different versions of Batman in the comics, depending on who's writing it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I think, comic book fans are just savages.
True. Yeah.
So they'll jump on it and tear it apart before they've even thought about it. I thought I'd give Ben, like, people said to me before, what do you think about Ben Affleck as Batman? And I thought, Ben Affleck, he was the bomb in Phantoms.
Yeah.
Kevin Smith.
Mm-hmm.
That's for you, Wilk Martin, that one's for you.
But yeah, I think Colin Farrell is going to be awesome.
Yeah, Colin Farrell's going to do a bang-up job, I'm pretty sure of it. I also think Robert Pattinson, with his version of the Batman, I think give him a shot.
Yeah, I think he's going to smash
Give him a shot.
He's going to be obviously a different Batman. He's not got. Well, he will be a punchy, kicky, fighty Batman. I just said that. But
see the trailer.
More of a, yeah, he looks awesome. I think he looks awesome.
He's ground and pound, punch your face. Like Batman breaks bones.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we've. Well, then again, Ben Affleck's Batman. He was a little bit more brutal than some of the others.
Yeah.
It's the bone breaking Batman to make sure you're gonna remember not to mess up again.
I think I'm intrigued to hear his Batman voice because I can't remember hearing it in the trailer that much.
I can't recall top of my head.
So we've got Mr. Thunder Punch, My Dear Brother. That scene in the gallery playing Prince was the best. That was in the Keaton Batman, I think you're referring to.
Yeah,
that was a little comment.
The first Batman. Yeah.
Jackatron and Damien both say the bit was awesome, which is very true. Oh, okay. So Wilk Martin says one day they will do Bane well in the movies. Now, I didn't mind Tom Hardy, but I want the steroid Venom Bane, the one that will actually break Batman's back in a more believable fashion. That's what I want to see. But I did like Hardy. But give me that comic book. Oh, good point, actually. Bane... Wait, no. So, Damien, Bane is a mastermind, not a sidekick. True.
Yeah.
Oh, because he was kind of Talia Ghul's puppet in a way, wasn't he? Rather than being the main guy. And
Bane needs to be on top.
Yeah, true.
What I'd love to see is a Bane, which he is like a criminal gang leader, but also his like lucha Mexican wrestling style,
right?
Mask up. There's a couple of different versions of Bane, but there's one where he is Mexican.
Okay.
And in his world, whatever author, I can't remember which author wrote this line, but it is canon that Bane is Mexican,
right?
And he is from like a lucha libre heritage, so he's like covered in tattoos, Mexican wrestling mask, hard as nails, punching and kicking.
And in that comic series, was it a Bane with the Venom, or was it a Bane just totally
still has Venom,
right?
But he's like an absolute tank before he even takes the Venom.
Fair enough. Wook Martin agrees that Robert Pattinson's really bad, so I think he agrees that it's going to be an interesting Batman. I have something to add to that, but we'll save it for a little bit on, because we're still talking about like the early days of our superhero
Sure thing.
experiences. Robert Pattinson will be a detective Batman. Red Nightfall, he was following Batman around Gotham for 6 months, and Batman didn't even know.
Yeah.
I haven't read that, but you have told me about that in the past.
Nightfall's sick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he absolute masterminded a breakout from Arkham,
Mm-hmm.
and then Batman would literally fight virtually everybody in Arkham.
Yeah.
And then Bane already knew where his cave was, who he was, turned up, broke his back.
Yeah.
Out. Bye. Completely hardly had to do a thing.
Yeah. So that was your first television superhero memory. What about your first cinematic in the theatre?
X-Men.
Right.
First
Yeah.
X-Men film. It kind of went, the superhero world kind of went dry during like my younger years.
Yeah.
Until, I can't remember what year it came out, top of my head. But the buzz about X-Men, and I was just so excited, just thinking, because I watched the X-Men cartoons,
Yeah.
I read the comics, played the video games,
Mm-hmm.
which weren't always great. But yeah, I remember going to the cinema to see X-Men. I think that was the first one. I did go to see Batman and Robin in the cinema, but we were kind of covering Batman.
Yeah.
Because but then there was still a few years between Batman and Robin and X-Men.
Because X-Men 1 was 2000, was it? Or maybe 2001?
Maybe. Top of my head, I don't know.
So I was about 5 or 6. So this is another question for you. When you saw Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, Halle Berry as Storm, Patrick Stewart as Xavier, I forgot the guy who plays Cyclops, and
I can't remember his name.
No, me neither. And the woman who plays Jean Grey. But what were your thoughts on? Oh, and Kelsey Grammer was Beast, but I don't know if he was introduced in the first one.
No, he was Last Stand.
Right, the third one. Yeah. What was your thoughts when you saw them actors?
I thought they were great. It was before I really had like internet.
Yeah.
It was before people were really bitching about things on the internet before.
Yeah, I don't think the bitching started until probably like
broadband.
Yeah, true.
People got broadband.
I remember people moaning that Hugh Jackman was either too tall or too short for Wolverine. I can't remember what one it was.
Well, Wolverine is short, but
so maybe Hugh Jackman's too tall. But now,
what's it matter?
We're 20 years into Wolverine, and people want him to stay on for the MCU when they come in.
Because people can't imagine anybody else playing Wolverine.
They can't, and I've got some ideas who I want to be Wolverine. But again, I'll save that for the next segment.
I was going to say, I'm glad you have, because I haven't got a clue.
I'll show you mine if you show me yours. No, I'll show you mine a little bit later.
Oh, that type of thing.
But so my
we'll go with that later. Yeah, whenever you need.
First superhero film memory, I think it's probably going to be Spider-Man, Sam Raimi, Green Goblin. It was the best thing when I was younger. That was like early 2000s, wasn't it?
That was my most, aside from Avengers, my most anticipated film.
Mm-hmm.
Because the only other time I'd seen Spider-Man was in those really odd 70s films.
Yeah.
I remember having the poster of Spidey wall crawling up the glass building and seeing his reflection. The teaser trailer of him webbing up between, I think he caught a helicopter between the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
But then they had to cut all that because 9/11.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
And I was so excited for that film. That was the build-up. Yeah, that was a really good one.
Wilk Martin's just made an interesting point, but I'll get to that shortly. So yeah, Spider-Man. But I definitely didn't go to cinema to see that. Spider-Man 2, I think that came out like the year after or 2 years after. Spider-Man 3, I'm gonna get stick with this, but I love Spider-Man 3. Three villains fighting Spidey. Venom on the big screen was awesome. Sandman was just... I thought the guy who played Sandman was awesome. I liked the effects of Sandman. Tobey Maguire dancing was awesome. I'm joking. But... And James Franco as Hobgoblin, was he meant to be? Or New Goblin?
I'm not sure.
I can't remember. But Jackatron agrees that Spider-Man 3 was sick. I really enjoyed it, but I was a kid. Looking back now, I haven't watched it since, okay? But looking back now, I can see the flaws in it. But I enjoyed it as a youngster.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
New Goblin.
Seeing Venom, I thought Venom was going to be... I was looking forward to seeing Venom more than anything.
Even when I was younger, I wish he was bigger. Like, in the Venom symbiote.
Like,
I remember him, like, towering over.
Like a Hulk. Like a Hulk.
Wilk Martin says one day they'll do Venom in the movies. I disagree with that with Martin. I liked Tom Hardy. Again, Tom Hardy, I liked him as Venom. So after Spider-Man...
I preferred Venom in the new Venom.
Yeah.
But at the time, I thought Venom looked great. A little bit too, maybe, snotty.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know, with the squelchiness of the symbiote. But aside from that, I think there was a lot going on. They tried to accomplish a lot.
They did. I think they went for too much.
Yeah, it's like I think they could have quite happily just stuck with Venom and
sort of
ran with that.
Let me give you a timeline from say 2000 to I'll go 2008 because I think Iron Man came out 2008. So from 2000 to before Iron Man, how high would you rank Dr. Octopus as the bad guy out of all them years films? Because I thought he was fantastic.
He was the best.
I agree. He was
Spider-Man 2 was the best film of that trilogy.
Yeah, 100%.
And Doc Ock, fantastic. He was
scary, intimidating.
Yeah, clever.
He stole the screen when he was on it. He was very clever.
He was great. The way he delivered his lines. Yeah, he was great. He was really, really good.
Damien, they're bringing him back for a reason and not recasting exactly. I haven't seen him now. Like, I don't know how well he's aged.
I'd be fine.
So hopefully he'll be fine. This is going off topic, but I would love for them to do the Doc Ock story from... They're not going to because I want them to do the multiverse, but I would love for them to do the Dr. Octopus story from the Spider-Man PS4 game. Because I thought that...
Yes.
That story was awesome.
Yeah, Doc Ock PS4.
Yeah,
that Spider-Man game.
What a story for him, though.
So good.
Wilk Martin has just brought me on to my next point, which after Spider-Man, maybe during Spider-Man, I watched Daredevil, which was... I can't remember if Daredevil was before Marvel Ultimate Alliance, but because he was one of my main characters in that game, but Daredevil, I enjoyed the idea of Daredevil. I loved the Kingpin. I thought we couldn't get a better Kingpin until Vincent D'Onofrio, however you say it, from the Daredevil series. Didn't care for Elektra, but going back to Colin Farrell, what a perfect... For me, I don't know the comics for him, but what a perfect bullseye we had in that film.
He was great.
The scenes he had, nut flicking on the plane that killed the woman, the card throw in the pub, it's just awesome.
Yeah, he was great. Ben Affleck, I thought he was great as Daredevil. And, because you've never seen Daredevil on the big screen before. You only ever read about him in the comics, or if you were lucky, a cameo in a cartoon.
Yeah, it was a paperclip in a pub. Oh, right, yep. How well, when was that out? Let me get... Because I don't know if it got shat on straight away, Daredevil.
Pretty much.
So I don't know how well it done. So I just want to see what it did when it came out.
We'll talk numbers.
Yeah, because
people didn't like it. I'm fairly certain.
So I was 8.
The only two people on this planet who enjoyed Daredevil is me and Wilk Martin.
Righto.
And I'm fairly certain of that. Someone may be able to prove me wrong in the chat, but he's the only other person I've ever met who likes that film.
So it made, which is quite good for, I want to say, a film back then, 179.2 million at the box office. So that's not too bad, is it? Michael Clark Duncan played Kingpin, right? Yeah, so
depends what they spent on it.
That's a good point. But yeah, I enjoyed the film. I liked Daredevil. I wish the costume was a little less shiny.
Oh, it was leather. It was made out of leather, wasn't it?
No, it seemed a bit shiny on the screen. Look at how much it costs. Okay, let's have a look to make. I was gonna say, didn't we have good old Jon Favreau as his little buddy? I forget his name. Foggy. We had Jon Favreau as Foggy, didn't we?
Yeah. Yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. What did you think of Elektra?
The film or the character?
The character first.
Fine.
And then the film? Because I haven't seen the film and I won't watch the film. Because
I've only seen it once.
The character.
I've only seen it once. And if I remember rightly, it delves into like more supernaturally type stuff.
Yeah.
But it was fine.
Right.
I've really got to go out of my way to not like something.
Okay, so 78 million. Gone.
I've not watched it since. I've only seen it once.
Right.
I've never bought it. I haven't recorded it when it's been on the telly.
Yeah.
Whether that says anything, I don't know. But I wouldn't go out of my way to say I didn't like it.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. So 78 million it costs to make, apparently. Jackatron has just said the most vile and disgusting comment I've ever read, and personally I think it's worth a time out. Jackatron has said Daredevil is the most boring thing Marvel have ever created. Now, Mr. Jackatron, I beg to differ. The Netflix series was fantastic. The comic books have been fantastic. I want to... Bear with me, I just want to go grab some things. Keep them entertained for a sec, Phelps. Because Daredevil...
Anyone want to see my elephant impression?
Right, let me get them.
No.
I've got some fantastic Daredevil comics, and I hate people to slander his name.
Mr. Thunderpunch said Catwoman was the worst comic book movie released. I've not seen it. I've not seen Catwoman.
Seen that. I'm not too sure.
Halle Berry. And then he also says Frank Miller's run on Daredevil was amazing. Yeah, it was. Frank Miller kicks the crap out of everything, man.
Right, okay.
Wilt Martin says, I liked the lecture at the time, but it's not good, really.
Yeah.
But the Snuff wants me to dance. He says, I saw Catwoman, but not to see the film.
Right.
Kevin Smith's Guardian Devil, that was another excellent Daredevil comic.
Ooh, I haven't read that. So I've read...
I wish Kevin Smith would stop being so lazy and finish his Batman series as well.
Did he make one?
He did two,
right.
And he ended the second one on the second arc on an absolute cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Like a dribbling cliffhanger, and he's never written it again.
So, back to Daredevil.
Yes.
Proving that he's not the worst thing Marvel ever made, Jack. I read Daredevil in Yellow, I think it was called. I didn't think much of that. But I've got some comics here. I've got 3 books of the same series which to get more of. But that is just called Daredevil Back in Black. Well, there it is. That's fantastic. I've got 3 of them so far. But the best, probably one of the best comic books I've ever read, and I'm happy I've got, is not titled Daredevil, but it's called Shadowland. I don't know if you've read or heard of this, Phelps, or if you can see that.
No, I've not read that.
So basically,
Oh, that's cool.
I haven't read it in ages, but I can kind of give you a synopsis. Daredevil's pretty much taken over all of Manhattan, or Hell's Kitchen, I should say. Yep, and he gets possessed by this beast in it. Oh, I'm not going to do it justice, but if you can, read Shadowland. It's got...
I'll add it to my list.
The artwork's fantastic. Kingpin's trying to be the bad guy, but Daredevil's pretty much the bad guy. Daredevil's costume, you can't really see it there, but Daredevil's costume's fantastic. You got Moon Knight in it somewhere. You got a bloody Daredevil versus Ghost Rider fight, which Daredevil wins. Sorry to put the spoiler.
So by the time I read it, I would have forgotten.
I can't agree with you, Jack, on that one. That Daredevil is the most boring thing that Marvel ever made. That's vile, Jack. I haven't timed you out, but you should have been timed out for that.
Bad boy.
So that's like the early 2000 films covered. My first cinematic film that I remember going to see, and I'm going to talk about my brother here, and I'm probably going to get his ego going up, but the only reason I'm properly into comics, okay, and probably the movies first, comics came after, but the main reason that I love the movie so much is we was walking in my hometown. We was walking across this bridge to get to cinema, and we were going to go see Captain America: The First Avenger.
Nice.
And I was excited to see Blockbuster, see Captain America. I liked him from the games like Ultimate Alliance and that Captain America game that he had. But the reason that got me so in love with the movies was how passionate my brother was at explaining everything that's going to happen, what Captain America might lead into, what's going to happen with it, how Iron Man's going to change, how Thor's going to change. I think he even called Thanos coming, and I didn't know who Thanos was, I just thought it was a funny name. But watching Captain America, it's not on my top 10 list, but that's one of my most favourite films because of how excited my brother was.
Because of the the emotional attachment you've got to it. Yeah,
I mean, a little bit of letdown that we didn't get to see Red Skull again until... no spoilers, but until Endgame. But yeah. That's probably my most memorable cinema experience. Was going to see Captain America, which I thought was a fantastic film.
Yeah, it was.
Steve Rogers.
It was.
No, sorry, Chris Evans I thought was fantastic. And I think even now, 15 years down the line, since Endgame with all the memes, unfortunately, but I think everyone realises just how good Chris Evans was. And I've got we'll discuss it in a bit, but something that I think should have happened instead. But we'll see what you think about that. But we'll talk about it in a bit.
Okay.
But yeah, so what was your next superhero film that you remember, like in the early thousands or?
Probably Iron Man 2.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I went to see Iron Man, which I really, really enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
And then Iron Man 2 just turned it up a notch.
Mm-hmm.
But then it was the after credits of Iron Man 2.
Which was, again...
Oh, was it? Which Iron Man? It was when they found Thor's hammer.
Wasn't that Iron Man 1? Let me do a quick research.
Yeah, have a look. I can't remember, but Iron Man 2 was sick as well.
And that, of course, was Mickey Rourke as Whiplash. And the introduction of Don Cheadle as War Machine because, was it Cuba Gooding Jr. wanted more money for the film?
I'm not sure.
Or something. And I'm far happier that we got a Don Cheadle War Machine run.
Don Cheadle's great.
Yeah. Terrence Howard wanted more money.
My second favourite role of Don Cheadle is the bad guy in Dr. Layton's Curious games on the DS. That one's for you, Wilt Martin.
Oh, I haven't played that game. I know what game you're on about, though. I remember when the series coming out. When was Thor's hammer?
Wilt Martin said Iron Man 2 was Thor's hammer. And Mr. Thunderpunch said Iron Man was the one with Nick Cage.
That was the first Iron Man, right? And then the second one.
No one ever expects Don Cheadle, Wilt Martin.
You know, I've typed it in, but I can't find anything. Oh, here you go. YouTube. I'm not going to play the video, but I just want to see what number it says. Yeah, Iron Man 2. Phil Coulson does the old. Yep, we got the problem.
Yeah, I've never been more excited.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. That was an awesome... I didn't go to the cinema to see Iron Man 2, but the Thor's hammer reveal... I probably wasn't affected as much in that early stages, but I can imagine, and looking back at it, that was so awesome to see. Because I don't know if they even announced a Thor film.
No, not to my knowledge.
Yeah.
Not to my knowledge at the time. That was the first thing I saw that thought they were going to be making Thor as a film was when you see Mjolnir.
Yeah, at the end.
In the desert. It's like, ah.
So that was back when they wouldn't just announce everything, they just did it. Because, changing topics, for me, how awesome or how much better would it have been if they didn't put Spider-Man in the trailer for Civil War and just had him appear in the film?
Yeah,
I think that would have been much better. My brother, I spoke to this about my brother, and he had a good point in that maybe they chucked him in the trailer to get people to go watch the film.
Yeah.
Which is understandable, but as a fan, I was fully committed by then, and as a fan, I would have much preferred to have him just jump. It's like when it's like, sorry, change topics again, guys. It's like, as a wrestling fan, when someone returns and they haven't announced it, that feeling, it's like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. I would have preferred to have that.
Surprise factor.
Yeah, exactly. But I get that they chucked him in there in the trailer to get people to get the tickets going up. But I have a hot take. I didn't enjoy Iron Man 1. I just got bored watching it. What are your thoughts on Iron Man 1?
I thought it was great.
Yeah, fantastic.
I really
or just
enjoyed
great?
It. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I was to say, Iron Man 2 was fantastic.
Yeah.
Then Iron Man was great.
Gasp, man,
which is a lot better than good.
So would you rank Iron Man 2, then Iron Man 1, and then that trash bit of Iron Man 3? Yeah. Fair enough. I mean, I liked Robert Downey Jr. I thought it was good, but when that film came out, every film seemed to be doing the formula of the good guy was versing a bigger version of Lem as the bad guy.
Yeah.
Wasn't they? Because I think that was the same time as Incredible Hulk came out. Around that time.
Yeah, it was very close.
But that's kind of the same. You had the Hulk going up against Abomination. I've said that. I can't think of any other films to back up my argument. But I know there's a list of films. Will Martin says Iron Man did it first, which may be true. I'm not too sure. That was the... Yeah, Ant-Man. I liked Ant-Man, though.
I liked Ant-Man. Ant-Man surprised me of how much I enjoyed it.
Surprised a lot of people. I think people were angry when they said it wasn't going to be Hank Pym, which is kind of understandable. But I think when they saw... I mean, who doesn't like... what's his name? Paul Rudd.
Yeah, when they said they were casting Paul Rudd as Ant-Man, I didn't think that was going to work whatsoever. I like Paul Rudd. A lot of people
thought that. I thought a lot of people thought he was just...
I like Paul Rudd for everything else I've seen him in.
I think people didn't believe he would take on the role properly or get a little bit wedge properly.
It was the same as when they were going to voice Vin Diesel, as Groot. It was like,
what's the point? Yeah. Very true. Oh, Captain America. I wouldn't say that's the same with Martin. Because Captain America, it's kind of. No, you're right. It's the same. It's pretty much the same. But Red Skull's like a more prominent bad guy compared to whatever that guy's name in Iron Man 1 is. I can't think of his name.
Of what? Sorry.
The bad guy of Iron Man 1. What's his name? Ironmonger. Is it Ironmonger?
Ironmonger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say Red Skull's a bit more.
Jeff
prominent.
Bridges.
Jeff Bridges. Is that Jeff? Bloody hell, it's Jeff Bridges. So Damien's brought up a point about Yellow Jacket not being a bad guy and an alter ego of Ant-Man, which is very true. But he's also... See, I haven't read any of the comics, but he said Stephen Lang is the most boring Ant-Man in the comics. That's why I was worried, which is fair enough. And my sister's come in. Hey, Naomi. Hank Pym's Ant-Man is the best. I probably agree with that. I think
the problem is you can't take tens of years worth of comic storylines,
probably even more,
and dump them into a film to give to the world who's never watched anything about it.
Yeah.
So obviously a good portion of the viewership for Ant-Man were like, but Yellow Jacket is Hank Pym as well.
Yeah.
As is Giant Man. You know, but people enjoyed the film.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I think that's what it's about.
Yeah.
It's about escapism. You know, you read a comic and get a different story about the same characters.
And I think if the films were the exact same as the comics, people won't go watch them.
You'd get people complaining then because the film was a carbon copy.
Yeah.
Of the comic, and I don't think anybody is ever going to win unless you go in with an open mind and just think, oh yeah, I enjoyed that. You know, that took me away from everything for 2.5 hours. Because no film is like lower than 2.5 hours anymore.
Yeah, very true. Do you have any theories on why they went with Scott Lang over Hank Pym? I've got one.
No.
Which I've forgotten.
Go for it. Shoot.
The comic that it happened in, but was it Civil War? No, it wasn't Civil War. In one of the comics, Hank Pym, I don't know if I'm allowed to say the word, but he forcefully did the thing on his wife, didn't he? And yes. I reckon Disney knew that and was like, nah, we can't have any kind of...
strong potential.
Yeah, we can't have any kind of dealings with that.
I can't remember what comic that...
No, I can't think of it. Damien might know. Damien probably knows off the top of his head.
He beat her up in the Ultimates.
Yeah, maybe it's the Ultimates, yeah. In the Ultimate series, yeah. So that was my theory why I don't think they did it.
So Ultimates 2, Captain America gets wind that Hank Pym's been beating up Janet. He goes to find him.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm not gonna hit you yet. Turn into Giant Man. And Hank Pym's like, oh no, and he's just like, go big.
Yeah.
And he kicks the shit out of him.
How awesome.
Oh, that's a great book. Ultimates and Ultimates 2 are great books.
So good. My brother's got them somewhere. And yeah, fantastic.
They are great. Fantastic. They are so good.
Yeah. Hank Pym becoming Yellow Jacket is awesome. Obviously the film's got their ideas from the comics, but it's nice when they switch it up a bit, but not too much. People don't understand what's exactly Jack. That's very true. MCU is based on the Ultimate. Is it? Ultimate Spider-Man as well.
Yeah, Ultimates drew Nick Fury as Samuel L. Jackson.
They did. My brother
and then
put a comment.
Magically he was cast.
Yeah.
Which was great. I thought that was ace.
It was excellent. My brother put a comment a little while back, but could you imagine Nick Cage as Fury?
All day.
Yeah?
All day.
Would that have been before he went a little bit loopy? Well, he didn't even go loopy. It's just like he got memed out of hell, didn't he?
Yeah.
He got so memed that
he wouldn't work as Nick
crazy.
Fury. He wouldn't work as Nick Fury in this universe, about the same as David Hasselhoff wouldn't work as Nick Fury in this universe. But there is a film of David Hasselhoff as Nick Fury.
I haven't seen it, but I've watched the trailer. It's just...
Yeah, save yourself the time and effort.
I hope he starts singing in one of the scenes, in it. I just hope that.
I'd like to see Nick Cage have a go at Nick Fury. I think that'd be a giggle.
In the comic, they ask if they make a movie to Fury, who would you want to cast? And they said Jackson. Fair enough. So, where was I before I took us on a new tangent? We were talking about... What were we talking about before then?
Mid-2000s films, because I was talking about Iron Man 2.
Right, yeah, and I said about not liking Iron Man that much, the first one. So we go from... I mean, we've done Captain, we've done Iron Man. Let's talk about Thor, the first one.
Yes.
When I first saw... I went to cinema to see that one. When I first saw it, I didn't think much of it. When I watched it again, I thought, yeah, it's pretty fantastic. And even if it's just for the one line where Thor's in the calf and he throws his mug on the floor and says, another! Yeah. But we had the... Okay, this is going to Will Martin's earlier point. Is Robert Downey Jr. better casting than Loki and then Tom Hiddleston as Loki? Because I think Tom Hiddleston as Loki maybe a little bit trumps Robert Downey Jr. What do you reckon on that?
Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It was perfect. For me, I thought it was perfect. Going back to Thor, what I loved about the first Thor, when I heard it was being directed by Kenneth Branagh, who normally does shit like Pride and Prejudice and stuff, maybe not that exact story, but stuff like that, period pieces where people dress up in olden-timey stuff, and they have long, eloquent conversations with each other, and then maybe one or two things may happen. It was a Norse mythology film. That's what I loved about it. Mm. It wasn't straight out of the page of a comic. This was a Norse mythology film, following the frost giants and Odin and Loki, and the Rainbow Bridge. I can't remember the name of it.
I can't
Jotunheim.
Yeah.
The Bifrost and the Jotunheim and the different and the Midgard and how Midgard fits in with Asgard and it was a Norse mythology film.
Yeah.
And I really, really enjoyed it.
It was very good.
Dark World, not so much.
No, let's not talk about that one. Of course.
Then Ragnarok. The three Thor films are three completely different films. You've got the first one, which is a Norse mythology film. The second one, which is a gap filler.
Yeah.
And then you've got Thor Ragnarok, which is action-packed.
I think Dark World was just a way to get a stone into the universe, pretty much. I can't think of what the other reasons, because who was the bad guy, the Dark Elf Christopher Eccleston played? He's not memorable to me at all. Probably
I can't even remember.
Not to you either. So I think they probably just
the
chucked him in.
That's all he was. It was the ether.
It was to get the ether in, wasn't it? A fun little tidbit that I read somewhere on Kenneth Branagh. Allegedly, he was the voice in Avengers: Infinity War when they're like, "We're not a warship. We have families," and when they get destroyed by Thanos' ship, and the first lines you hear is the guy screaming out for help. That's apparently Kenneth Branagh.
All right.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool little tidbit of information. Cool. Yeah. There aren't many in the MCU who aren't well casted. That's very true, Martin.
That is true.
Okay, 1,000 points goes to Damien, Mr. Thunderpunch, because he's made the reference. Someone called it a stone earlier. It's not a stone. It's more of a liquid. Very good, very good. Either Dark World or Iron Man 3 is my least favourite. Yeah, that's very... I'd agree with that with Martin. Yeah. And he made...
Both gap fillers.
Did he really make Chris Hemsworth take Shakespearean lessons? That's quite cool.
Probably.
But yeah, I thought the four first film was very good. Introduction of Hawkeye, I believe, as well. Wasn't he in 4?
Top of my head, I'm not sure.
I think he was, but only
it has been a while since we watched it.
Yeah, in the bird nest, I thought so.
I remember saying he had a bird nest.
Yeah. So let's jump from
Coulson said he was in the bird's nest.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Let's jump from Marvel for a bit and head over to the wonderful world of DC. And
we won't be here long.
Well, let me start with the Bale trilogy.
Yeah.
The Nolan trilogy, sorry. I'm not... Okay, my brother's brought up Man of Steel, and let me get your thoughts on Man of Steel before I say my thoughts on Man of Steel. We'll talk Man of Steel first.
Alright. I enjoyed Man of Steel.
Okay.
I liked the backstory.
Mm-hmm.
I liked seeing... Because you didn't really get those with the... you didn't really get a lot of it with the Christopher Reeve films of Superman. You got... where we got his moral compass from Kevin Costner as his dad. And you see how he kind of goes on this journey just to find himself. You know, he's the only one on a planet who can do what he does.
That's very true, yeah.
And I dare say until Zod turns up, he's never really had a fight before because he can't fight in high school. He's going to knock people, you know, into a dust.
Yeah.
And
Michael
the only
Shannon?
way...
What did you think, Michael Shannon? Sorry,
great. I thought he was great as Zod.
He was very good.
I thought he was just like this emotional... Michael Shannon plays emotionless very, very well. Yeah, I thought he was fantastic. And the fact that Superman had to kill Zod because he thought he had to.
He couldn't really stop him, could he? So he had to do it.
That was the only way he could stop him. And then you also get the stuff about like the collateral damage after a big superhero fight, like the buildings falling apart, like the start of Batman versus Superman.
Fantastic, yeah.
Bruce Wayne stood there, and it was like the buildings are like crumbling, and there's civilians just running in absolute fear.
Yeah, well, that scene at the beginning of Batman Superman was probably the best part of that film. My thoughts on Man of Steel, and I liked Henry Cavill. I thought he looked the part, was the part. I liked Michael. I hadn't seen anything with Michael Shannon in before, I don't believe, but I thought he was okay. I've got a silly reason why I can't watch the film.
Go on, that's fine. You can share it. We're all friends here.
General Zod. My brother's already arguing with me in the chat. General Zod. What I'm about to say is so silly, but I just couldn't get out of my head when watching the film, and I just kept cracking up. He kept calling Kal-El cow. And whenever he said it, in my head, I was just thinking of Eric Cartman saying, Kyle, the way he does. Like, come on, cow. And I just couldn't not laugh at it. And I was in the cinema trying not to laugh.
I'm afraid you've spoiled that film for yourself then.
I have. I couldn't stop laughing at cow, because I just kept thinking of South Park. He's already telling me to shut up. I know. I thought it was so stupid that he let his dad run into the tornado to get the bloody dog when Clark could have just zoomed in and zoomed out. Stop making the same argument, Damien. I thought that was silly, but because of that silly thing of me just kept hearing Eric Cartman say Kyle, I couldn't properly enjoy it. Or I enjoyed it too much. I know it's so silly and so shallow of me.
Enjoyed it for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah. I know it's so stupid, but I couldn't stop laughing. I think my friend had to keep nudging me. He's like, what are you laughing at? His father believed that's what his father believes. He was like, no, Clark, I'll go get the dog. You and your superhuman strength and speed. Sorry, people like the film, so I shouldn't. But yeah, it took me out because I was just such a silly little man laughing at a South Park joke. It's one of Michael Shannon's least annoying characters. So what else has he been in? Without going on too much of a tangent, Michael Shannon.
Shape of Water.
Oh yeah, I remember that film. That was quite good. That was
The
after, right?
Iceman. Yeah.
Iceman, I haven't seen that.
He's hitman for I think it's one of the mafia. Yeah, it's a mafia family.
Right.
I can't remember the name
So
of the. I can't remember the hitman's name, but he was called the Iceman.
Okay.
He used to. I enjoyed it.
Nice. So we got a couple of recommendations: Premium Rush and Broadwalk Empire. Either of them I haven't seen.
I started watching Boardwalk Empire, and then I stopped.
I remember when it came out.
Not for any reason. I
remember when it came
it's
out.
just
I think
one of those things I phased out of. That's all.
I think that was like the big thing that brought the channel Sky Atlantic on, wasn't it? Broadwalk Empire.
Yes, it was an exclusive,
from
what I remember.
Iceman's name was Richard Kuklinski or something like that. Dr. Snuff says.
Something like that.
So yeah, now that I've ruined Man of Steel, the Nolan trilogy of Batman. Right. What are your thoughts? We'll start with Batman Begins. Liam Neeson, Ra's al Ghul. The Scarecrow, I'm sure, was in it.
Yeah, Scarecrow was in it.
Christian Bale's debut. What are your thoughts?
Michael Caine as Alfred.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Batman Begins. Absolutely fantastic.
Gary Oldman as well.
Gary Oldman. I was wetting my pants as Gary Oldman being Commissioner Gordon. Gary Oldman's fantastic. Yeah, Batman Begins was outstanding and it was really good. Dark Knight, equally, even and maybe a little bit more.
I was going to say, Batman Begins put such a high mark on the Batman films, and then The Dark Knight came along, and I
knocked it out the park.
Without Heath Ledger, do you reckon it would have been as good as it was?
Heath Ledger played Joker fantastically well, whether he then died or not.
It was a fantastic performance.
He was fantastic. And then Dark Knight Rises, which it is my least favourite of the trilogy.
It was okay enough, I think.
It's perfectly watchable.
Yeah.
If you can understand what Bane is saying.
Exactly. I was so super excited to go watch The Dark Knight Rises because of the success of The Dark Knight. I booked the first showing of the day, which was like 7:55 in the morning. I couldn't sleep the night before. And then I think because I was excited, I enjoyed the film more than I should have.
Yeah, I think I feel the same. I took my now wife and we went to the cinema. Our earliest showing was about 9 a.m.
Yeah,
and she wasn't impressed that I got up that early. At the time I thought it was great. I thought, it's brilliant. But then when you go back and you really think about it, it's like I haven't got a clue what Tom Hardy was saying.
Yeah. I'm gonna go on another tangent, but I always in my head pair them to the Borderlands games because Borderlands 2 had such a fantastic villain that it's ruined the other villains for the series, and I think that's what Heath Ledger did for that series.
Strong potential.
Yeah.
Potential.
Another bit of tidbit, you probably know this, but you know the scene where Joker is walking away from the hospital and he blows up and he's like, that was apparently improvisation. No, it wasn't improvisation, it was delayed. So that was his actual reaction.
No way. That's cool.
I think that's cool. I think that's cool. Hey, Lorna Gaming, welcome in. But yeah.
Hello.
Dark Knight trumps the other two for me out of that series. So we go from... That takes us to the end of the thousands, right?
Yeah, I think so. What's our next topic?
So we are going on to Marvel versus DC. DC versus Marvel. We've got a couple of... I'll leave what I've written down for like a quick fire for the ending, like a round off.
Okay.
But yeah, DC films versus Marvel films. let's we're not going to talk about Fantastic Four. The first one was fine. I didn't watch the second one because I heard what they did to Galactus. So,
the animated DC will always beat Marvel's animated films.
100%, yeah. Okay, let's start with the animated. What's everyone's favourite, for the comic fans in the house, that is, favourite animated superhero film? For me, I'm going to go for Throne of Atlantis. What would you go for? I haven't seen them all, though.
Justice League Dark.
I turned that on to watch, and I put it on with my nephew, but the first scene scared him, so I turned it off, and I haven't watched it since. And now he's 9 years old, so I haven't watched it. Oh Jesus, that's old now then. 5 years or so.
They're both fantastic. The Justice League Dark films. The second one came out last year.
Yeah.
Is that Apocalypse War? I got it, but hang on. Yeah, Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. I think that came out that was last year. That came out.
Mm-hmm.
But then there was also a Constantine one right in the middle.
Right.
And City of Demons.
Mm-hmm.
It's just great.
So we've got a couple of
good.
recommendations already coming through. We've got Attack on Arkham or Flashpoint. That's from my sister Naomi.
Yeah, they were good. Flashpoint was excellent.
I'm sure I've seen Flashpoint and I'm sure I loved it. Wilk Martin says Batman, Superman, Public Enemies. I haven't seen that one.
Yes.
Is that a good one?
I think that was one of the first DC animated films that was released, and it was great.
Okay.
Good. Public Enemies was great.
We've
Batman
got
Beyond,
Batman
Return of the Joker.
I remember having I got given it, or me and my brother and sister got given it from one of our neighbours down our street, a VHS of a Batman Beyond film. But it was so dark you couldn't see anything going on. Like, this is literally the screen was so dark. But I'm sure that was Batman Beyond. We've got Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker, and Wonder Woman. What Wonder Woman anime? Have they done a Wonder Woman animated film?
Yeah.
Oh, what's that? I haven't.
Might have done two. I think they've done two now. There was a Wonder Woman, quite a few years ago, which was like your origin story.
Yeah.
And then I think there was one came out last year. Bloodlines.
Oh yes, Bloodlines.
Maybe.
You're right. Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it, but I remember seeing it coming out.
I haven't seen the last couple.
But you know what's very interesting, and given a clear winner already, not one person has mentioned the Marvel animated film.
There's two. There's only two good ones, and they're the Ultimates.
Oh, okay, fair enough. But that shows that DC
and Hulk versus, they were good. They had they were two shorter ones. There was Hulk versus Wolverine and Hulk versus Thor.
Right.
And they were good.
Mm.
But then any others they brought out, not really.
I remember seeing some on Netflix. Like, I think I didn't watch it, but I saw it on the listing, like Punisher versus Black Widow.
I think that was an anime style one. But no, I didn't. I watched that.
That was good. The best Marvel animated film, according to Wilk Martin, is Doctor Strange, but it hasn't aged well. Okay.
That was good. That was like his origin story.
And Damien has cut. I think I remember you telling me about this, but Damien said Batman Hush.
Hush was excellent.
I'll need to watch that.
I liked Hush a lot, actually, because it was different enough from the comic that I didn't know what was coming.
Yeah.
I thought that was excellent.
So, DC win, I think, hands down.
For animated?
The animated, yeah.
All day.
Go into the cinematic universe. Let's not go too long on this, but I think the main films we can easily compare would be Civil War to Batman vs Superman, because they were released at the same time, and it was versus, and then I know you haven't seen it fully yet, but maybe Justice League versus Avengers, because they had a big team up. But
yeah, I was a little bit. I'm quite behind with Justice League. I watched half of the Joss Whedon cut for the first time.
Yeah.
The other night, my life just being busy as it is.
No, fair enough.
I don't get a chance to watch films.
Yeah.
As much as I used to. But the first half of Justice League, Joss Whedon's cut that I watched,
You enjoyed, you said, didn't you?
was fine.
Yeah.
Was fine.
People were going crazy
It
for
wasn't good.
Yeah.
Wasn't good. Or anything above good, but it was fine.
Yeah. People were going crazy for the Whedon Snyder cut. My sister loves it. She's watched it like 5 times, I think she said.
Your sister's watched a 4-hour film 5 times.
Yeah.
As a mother of a youngster,
2 kids, a
little baba.
Yeah, I'm sure she's watched it about 5 times. I don't know
with
if she's watched it like the first minute to the last minute in one, or she's like put it. Oh, that's on again. Let's put that on and watch it for the last 2 hours.
That
or
is an
something.
excellent commitment to the cause,
Yeah.
and if I was wearing a hat, I would take it off to your sister right now.
Both my brother and sister say that the Snyder Cut is fantastic.
I've heard lots of good things about it,
and apparently this is the best my 3-month-old nephew Eric loves the film as well. So if you need an excuse to watch it, take a 3-month-old's opinion.
My little girl's 2 now, and if it's not showing the sheep, she ain't interested.
I'll get to that comment in a second, Damien. But Civil War versus Batman versus Superman. I'm sure that they announced Batman vs Superman first, and they put a date when it was going to come out. But that date they went for is like the time that Marvel bring out their first quarter film, which was going to be on the same day. And people say that they chickened out, but DC then changed the date and brought it either a month or a few weeks later release date. But
I think that's fine. Why would you want to?
Why would you want to try and
make as much money as possible?
Exactly. They're not stupid. They're not going to up to Civil War. You probably had a good probably even 8 years of films. And I think everyone knew going into Civil War what's going to happen. It's going to split up the 2 main guys. So I if they were out on the same day, I would have gone to see Civil War first, and then probably walk straight into Batman vs Superman. But for me, what's not fair, Damien? Batman vs Superman did make $1 billion, you're right. But what's not fair? So I've jabbered on a lot since that comment, I think. You can't really compare it. It bugs me so much. DC is dark and not... No, I'm not... No, so... I'm only comparing in the sense that it came out at a similar time and it was a versus film. That's what I'm comparing them. And we are talking versus at the moment, so we got to try and verse the films that are similar enough, if that makes sense.
Pitting hero against hero.
Exactly. So that's the only reason I'm comparing them to, just because they're the closest that we can compare. Because for me, Marvel wins the cinematic universe.
Hands down.
Hands down.
Look, Martin made a very good point with his comment. DC had a chance to follow the template created by Marvel and do it better, but they tried to do too much too quickly.
They did, 100%. Yeah. Very true, 100%. Very true. I think
that's the best way. That's the explanation right there.
Yeah. Then throw in Daredevil versus Punisher. But they're the same franchise. We're discussing like the Marvel films versus the DC films. So, yeah.
And that was a TV series.
Unless he's talking about the Travolta Punisher film or Wahlberg Punisher film. Did that come out at the same time as Daredevil? Or near the same time? I don't know. Okay. So Jack says, I do think Joker is 100% the best film DC has ever made. Now, actually, okay, that I want to compare two films now, actually, then. I want to compare... They're completely different films, but I think they're close enough for us to compare. I want to throw at you Joker from DC and Logan from Marvel.
Both excellent.
Both fantastic. I think they're close enough that we could compare them. I wouldn't know what to pick as better because I loved them both.
The only difference between them, really, apart from the glaring obvious because they're different companies.
Yeah.
Joker is the beginning of the Joker. Logan is the end of Logan.
Yeah, exactly.
Logan was fantastic.
And you've got the years before of everyone loving Hugh Jackman versus I think pretty much everyone loves Joaquin Phoenix as an actor.
Yeah.
Against his first outing as a Joker. My brother has a strong point that he's probably writing it down now, but my brother doesn't think that Joker should have been called Joker. My brother thinks it could have just been any kind of film of a psychopath. He's just writing it now. Joker could have been a normal movie and been an Oscar, but they slapped on Joker template about it. So yeah, he was writing that as soon as he's very passionate about that, which I kind of agree. I don't know why they brought out a Joker film in such a strange time, unless they are going to stick with Joaquin Phoenix. But I don't want to spoil the Snyder Cut for you. I haven't seen it, but I googled what happened because I don't know if I wanted to watch it. But can I say something about it to you?
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah.
Apparently, there's a flashback or flash forward with Leto's Joker, and he says that he is Jason Todd, and he was
good.
So unless they're gonna have Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker, and then Jared Leto's the Joker turn into Red Hood, maybe I doubt they'll go Red Hood, but
to be honest, you could probably leave Joker as an origin story.
Yeah, I think that's what they'll do, or they'll maybe slap.
Or if they follow it on the early years of the Joker, you know, but they wouldn't. They just wouldn't be able to do it like the vats of acid.
Yeah,
the fucking squirt. Sorry, I swore. Am I right to swear? Yeah.
Yeah, no, don't worry.
The acid squirt.
Yeah.
They're probably going to steer clear of stuff like that. It's going to be a dark, gritty, violent.
I like
type
the
Joker.
Almost real world spin that they put on the Joker.
Yeah. It's not a superhero film.
Mm-hmm.
This is
something that could happen.
Yeah,
like the society could bring someone to go that crazy. I want to say, watching Logan, I think I cried at the end. Watching Joker, it had my heart rate go. I was wearing an Apple Watch in the theatre, and the seats that we were at was at the far back, and there was like a staff corridor behind me. And my watch was like, bro, your heart rate, you gotta calm down. I was getting so worked up, like, this is crazy. My heart's actually going a bit crazy now. But
Joker was phenomenal.
Logan, I was crying. Joker, I was like, oh my, I was like scared almost watching it.
It's scary because it could potentially happen.
Exactly.
And I think with sticking the Joker label on it, I do see your brother's point, 100%.
Yeah,
I do. But
I think
it's about time. If they were trying to make a real life superhero, supervillain comic book film, to make it more appealing to the general film goer. Not just I'm going to go watch a superhero movie because I bought a Marvel Comics t-shirt in Primark and I've seen some cartoons.
Yeah.
To, I don't watch superhero films because they're just CGI. They're just,
yeah.
And then you watch Joker and you think, holy shit.
Yeah, 100%.
I think it's almost brought an extra layer of legitimacy to comic book films.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just a CGI fest. It's you can make a very deep psychologically based feeling film from a comic book character.
Yeah, very true. I want to say though, I'll get to the. There's been a lot of comments coming through, which is I thank you everyone for
Yeah,
like your
thanks guys, appreciate
participation.
it.
Logan made me feel more like when I think it was. Sorry if no one's seen it yet, but I think it was when they just killed Xavier and Logan was driving in the car and they had that song playing, which I can't think what the song is. I can't play it now because I'll get striked for it, but I'll find a scene and then put it on socials what I'm on about. But that's I'm sure it's the song they played over Logan and the little girl driving away from that family's house after Xavier. Yeah, Johnny Cash hurt. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that made me feel probably most. That made me feel the most in a film until Infinity War and Endgame. Because Joker just got me pumped up. It's like, oh my god, what's going on? But that scene
totally.
in Logan, it was like
you can run Johnny Cash's version of "Hurt Over Anything" and sob a tear.
Exactly, yeah.
As well, it adds so much depth to something.
So I'm gonna go to chat real quick. So yeah, we have had a lot of comments. So thank you everyone. So let's. I need to scroll up actually. This is bloody awesome. They've done a lot of good different takes on the Joker, but they've never done the character accurately. That's a good point. Favourite Joker portrayal, Phelps? I want to be different and say Mark Hamill. I love his laugh. I love his Joker, but in the films, it's got to be Heath Ledger.
I would originally, up until maybe 6 months ago, I would have said Jack Nicholson.
Okay.
My favourite Joker. I'd like to introduce the theory brought in the comics of Batman's The Three Jokers, where there are three Jokers operating as a group. You've got the criminal Joker, the comedian Joker, and the psychopath Joker.
Yeah. And if you was to bring them three into and name them to a film, who would you allocate them to? The comedian Mark Hamill, maybe?
I'd go comedian.
Yeah.
As Heath Ledger.
Oh, okay.
Talking about his tricks. You want to see a pencil disappear?
Yeah, okay.
Stuff like that. He was almost trying to be funny with some of the things he was saying.
Very true.
Criminal, Jack Nicholson, and then psychopath. Criminal could also go across to Jared Leto.
Yeah, I was just thinking
because
that.
He's like the baller type criminal, not the classy suit mafia style, almost crime family style. And then psychopath, obviously Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah. We've got Jack saying, this is about Joker still, was so good. Honestly, I couldn't stop watching the film. I was gripped to my seat because it went from one extreme to another, which I loved about it. It was very true, Jack. It got your heart up here, and then boom, boom, boom.
True.
I did not see... I thought it was weird that it would happen, but I did not see the twist that he was making up the relationship with the girl. Thank you very much for the follow, Eugene Spurs Dollar. Welcome in. We're just talking about the Joker films at the moment, so sorry if you haven't seen it. But yeah, maybe I was naive to not see it coming, but him making it up in his head for that reveal at the end was like, what are you doing in my house? Did he kill the mum and daughter? Did he just leave? That still works me up to this day. Which I think the director was just... They knew what they were doing when they did that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think that may be the twist that Lorna was talking about, possibly. Or the twist of Bruce Wayne and Joker being related but not related. Maybe that was what she was talking about. But from me, the reason I love Joker is because we don't know the origin. Yeah, very true. Joker is about not being named, I think a lot of people could say. Dr. Snuff literally watched Logan for the first time today. What did you think, Snuff? Did you enjoy it? The ending was mad for Joker. Very true, Jack. His famous line at the end of Killing Joke, if I had an origin, it would be multiple choice. Yeah. Okay, so we've got 2 comments next to each other, opposing each other. One says, I hope there will be another Joker film, and then that's Lorna. And then my sister says, I don't feel we need another Joker film. And then my brother says that as well. To make another Joker film, they just do it for the money. That's an interesting point. I think if they do another Joker film with Joaquin Phoenix, it needs to lead into somewhere. It needs to lead into a Batman. Personally, excuse me. I think we need some sort of...
I think you could get away with just having a Joker, criminal psychotic Joker.
Even though they've waxed the DC brand on it. Okay, fair enough.
I think there's enough, psychological theories and stuff that they could look at and stuff like that to go along with Joker's crazy criminal journey.
Yeah.
I think they could probably get 2, maybe 3 films.
No, I'd watch it. I think everyone would watch it.
I'd watch them.
Especially Joaquin Phoenix.
I'd watch them.
Dr. Snuff sorry guys, I've got loads of comments to go through. This is bloody brilliant. Thank you everyone again. Dr. Snuff wants a real world Copperbot film a la Joker. I think on that point they probably showed a lot of Cobblepot in the Gotham TV series. So I don't know if they would then make a film. Because I think Joker's up here, Penguin's probably... I don't know, that's my opinion. I think Joker is so much more well known.
With the right acting and the right casting and the right story, you could make a Penguin a Joker.
Okay.
I think.
Fair enough.
I think there's enough stuff there.
I didn't know much about Penguin as well. I'd like to add to that one. So I'd watch it though. I'd definitely watch it. Suicide Squad was brilliant too. I enjoyed watching it. I don't think it was a brilliant movie. I like the acting. No, I like the characters, I like the actors, but I don't think it was a brilliant film. What do you reckon, Phelps?
I liked the sound.
What do you mean?
Suicide Squad, I like the sound.
The soundtrack?
No, the sound. When I'll explain.
Yeah,
I'll explain a bit better. My wife is a massive Harley Quinn fan.
Yeah.
Massive. So when Suicide Squad came out, I booked tickets at the Odeon in the 4K screen thing that they do, whatever it's called.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I remember you telling me, actually.
I know I've mentioned this before.
Like the immersive, for everyone who's thinking what's he mean, the immersive cinema screen, which you pay a couple more quid for. You get the better picture, the better sound quality. The
picture I could take or leave. I thought, oh yeah, that looks great. The sound was phenomenal in that cinema.
I know what you mean now. Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal.
So where are we? Still holding out for an X-23 movie. Yeah, that'd be good. God, I've got so many comments to read. Damien says, just wait for the Batman movie, the Robert Pattinson one for the Cobblepot. It depends if they go into detail with him. No, Cobblepot in the original ones is all I need. That was great. We grew up with Hugh Jackman and Patrick, so you can't help but be invested. Very true. That's on the topic of me saying about that scene when Logan's driving away from Charles dying. The last X-Men film was Ace. That's a hot topic. I wouldn't agree with that. I liked all the.
What was the last X-Men film?
I believe. Oh wait,
Dark
are
Phoenix?
you talking about the last film, which was the Dark Phoenix reboot, or are you talking about the?
I didn't see Dark Phoenix.
Last of the X-Men trilogy. Because I deliberately didn't watch the Dark Phoenix because I knew it wasn't going to be good. maybe that's unfair of me to think that. And the X-Men film, the third one of the last of the trilogy, was a bit poopy as well, but all the actors were fantastic. Last Stand was swag, ruined the Phoenix. Jack Nicholson 100%. The comedy is a killing joke. Cesar Romero was good too, don't forget about him. True, from the TV series, right? Jared Leto did brilliantly. I think he did very well. We didn't see enough of him, though. I wish we saw more of him. Hopefully we do get to see more. Apocalypse was the best new X-Men film. What do you reckon? Did you see that one?
Who said that?
My sister.
Maybe not.
So the new X-Men. So what are the other new X-Men? First Class? Was that a new
X-Men
X-Men?
First Class,
Yeah.
Days of Future Past,
Days of Future Past.
Apocalypse, Dark Phoenix.
So yeah, I'll say yes to over Dark Phoenix because I haven't seen it and won't watch it, but I think Future Past was a bit of a mess up, the way they kept travelling, but First Class I thought was very good.
First Class is in my top 10.
Okay, we'll get to the top 10s very shortly as well. And guys, if you want to let us know your top 10 or top 5s, just let us know. Damien says Lorna, yeah, really good. Didn't see why people hated him. Eugene's Persona said Jack Nicholson had the best Joker visuals. Okay, yeah, I see where you're coming from. Been recommended to read the Free Jokers. I'll try and find it. Have you read the Free Jokers then? Yeah.
Yeah, they're really good.
He had that psycho look in him, which was perfect. You feel so much for Jason Todd. Jackman had that laugh. Very true. I'm not going to lie, when Joker killed his mum by covering her face with pillows, yeah, very true, Jack. I wouldn't say it came out of nowhere. The way the film was going, that was that the third person he killed by then? Or was that the fourth person? Because he killed the 3 guys in the train, didn't he? Or in the subway. And I think his mum was the 4th person, possibly. So I think they were definitely
something like
leading
that.
up.
Top of my head, I can't think, but yeah.
Yeah, that line, I'm not going to kill you, I'm just going to hurt you really bad. Yeah. I see Gotham as its own universe. The TV series, okay. Here's a question. What do you think could play the Riddler? Oh, very good, okay. Who do you think could play the Riddler?
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey to come back.
Give him another go. Give him another go as a serious Riddler.
A few years ago...
And he'd knock it out the park. I think he'd be fantastic.
A few years ago, I would have said maybe Jim Parsons, but I've gone away from the idea now. Jim Parsons, Sheldon from Big Bang Theory.
I think he's too cemented as Sheldon now.
And alternatively, hear me out, maybe Neil Patrick Harris. I think he could possibly do a little.
He's a good actor.
He is a very good actor. Attack on Arkham is better than that. Sorry, Nearly. Birds of Prey I liked more than Suicide Squad. I haven't watched that.
Birds of Prey is really good.
The film.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think you're actually.
Or Harley Quinn. There was
yes, they changed the name. That's a very good point.
Fantabulous.
From Birds of Prey to Harley Quinn and the
whatever it was called.
Paul Dano will smash it as the Riddler. Very true. You've told me that before, actually, Damien, and yeah, I'd agree. Lorna went and googled him. David Tennant. I don't know.
David Tennant's good
as a Riddler.
I think he could do it.
Fair enough. So yeah, I think I've caught up on the chat now. So unless you've got any more ideas for DC versus Marvel, Phelps, or unless anyone watching,
no, I don't think so.
I think we'll move on to our top 10s.
Yeah, that's cool.
Now you mean David Tennant as Purple Man would be a good Riddler? Yes, that's what we're talking about. Wilk. Yeah, he killed 3 guys in Subway, killed his mum and then the guy who works for in the flat. Yes, Jack, yeah. Yeah, I think that was all good story progression.
With your top 10?
Yeah.
these are our top 10. So obviously yours are to you,
Yeah.
mine are to me. Just rattle them off.
Okay.
There's no questioning.
Yeah.
There's no, and from the chat as well. There's no questioning from chat.
This is what we enjoy.
Your opinion. This is my opinion, and we are correct with our opinions.
Yeah, I'm going to run through mine because I've got some quick fire rounds that I would like to get your opinion on and chat. So, number 10.
I'll off your top. Let's go.
Should we do each other's number 10 and then number 9, or should I?
No, just read out your 10.
Right, so
read out your
number
10.
10, Guardians of the Galaxy. Number 9, Logan. Number 8, Aquaman. Number 7, Dark Knight. Number 6, Winter Soldier. Number 5, Ragnarok. Number 4, which is a little bit probably out there, Kick-Ass 2. Number 3, Civil War. Number 2, Infinity War. And number 1, Endgame. Yeah.
Banging.
Endgame made me feel the most out of the film. Captain America lifted the hammer. I was like, oh my god. Iron Man, obviously. I don't want to say any more about Endgame because I don't want to.
I enjoyed my little thing on Endgame. I enjoyed Endgame massively. Do not get me wrong, absolutely phenomenal. Mm-hmm. But if that rat hadn't walked over,
the rat was the hero,
and hit the button,
the rat was the hero of the film.
None of this was planned.
Exactly.
So my top 10, in no particular order, because I didn't have time to order them. I needed to pick 10 films. Let's go. Sin City.
Oh yes, 1 or 2.
1.
Right. Yep.
300.
Okay.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Mm-hmm.
Avengers: Infinity War. Batman Returns. The Crow.
Mm-hmm.
X-Men: First Class. Avengers: Assemble.
Yeah.
We called it over here. The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton.
Yeah.
And Batman Begins.
Very good.
That's my top 10.
That is So this is the difference between me and Phelps, which I hope you guys will follow us on for the future episodes. I'm happy to say I'm a Marvel fanboy. I will majority be reading Marvel. I've got a few Aquamans to read, but I am Marvel. Phelps is going to be the more broader range of comics. So my list is 70% Marvel, I think. So if you were going to stick around for the other episodes, you will get a variation of stuff, not just Marvel. But yeah, that's a fantastic
Wilt
list.
Martin has just made a good point. He says there's a lot of non-superhero comic films on that list. You're right, it's because I mixed up between comic and superhero.
No, that's absolutely fair. No worries at all.
Phelps, have you read Nemesis? Yes, twice. Please make that a film all day.
Have you
Wanted was ace. Wanted was ace.
But my brother Damien keeps going on about the comic.
Ace.
Right, so what we got here? We've got 2 Blade 2s. 2 Blade 2 recommendations.
Blade 2 was good.
Lorna Gaming likes Aquaman and Jason Momoa. Okay, I have loved Aquaman before it was popular to love Aquaman. And I'll tell you why. I'm going to embarrass my brother. No, I'm not going to tell you why, actually. That's our secret. Watchmen from Dr. Snuff. The Crow is fucking awesome. I watched that around my cousin's house when I was young. And I found out after that. I forgot his name. But the main guy, Jason Lee. Randomly, yeah. He unfortunately passed away.
Do you know how that happened?
Wasn't it falling from the set of the window? No?
He got shot. He got shot on set.
What's meant to be a fake bullet, right? Or the fake bullet.
It was what it was. They were firing blanks.
That's yeah.
But the effects guy wanted, and he spoke with Brandon Lee about it, to have like an impact of the shot to make it look a little bit more real. So they packed a blank casing with the flashbang felt that would go in something completely different. They packed the wrong casing too tight or something like that.
Right.
And it shot him and he died.
Jeez. Where did they shoot him? Like chest or?
It
So I
was
don't remember the
chest, I
film
believe.
that much.
Chest. Pretty sure it was a chest.
Edward Norton is my sister and my brother I think agree that their favourite Hulk is Edward Norton.
Yeah. Mark Ruffalo did an excellent job, mind. Do not get me wrong. Mark Ruffalo was fantastic. I really like Edward Norton.
Yeah, no, a lot of people said that, and I can't help but agree. I think I love Mark Ruffalo, but no, what am I talking about? I understand people liking him, but Mark Ruffalo because of the Avengers is for me. Jack says the best superhero film is The Incredibles. Jack, that's because you're young. no, but he's a fantastic.
But he's also not wrong.
I just hate that we had to wait. What is it, 15 years for the sequel?
Yeah, but you loved it.
Oh,
Everyone
I
loved the
bloody
sequel.
loved it, but they made a game of the second one, fighting the Underminer, and they took him out in like 2 minutes. But anyway. Well. What about classic Superman, Man of Steel? So I've already said my take on Man of Steel. I don't want to get any
They're just not in our top 10.
assassinations on me. Next stream, we need an Achi heart rate on it meter, or we can make it happen. Wanted film was amazing. Comics unbelievable. Yeah, my brother wants to get it. He's going to get that and read it. I'm going to read Nemesis. We're going to trade.
Nice. Both excellent.
Faster than the speed of light. Not fast. His dad's not faster than a tornado though. When you compare it to the comic, I think it hurt the film. Oh, that's the Wanted. The best Fantastic Four film is The Incredibles. True. Very true. And another one where they should have called it something else instead of trying to set up the name. Yeah. So.
Agreed.
We are coming to the end. So I've got some quick fire questions, statements, thoughts. Anyone can partake in, but I'm going to be aiming at Phelps and giving my 2 cents. So, these two, I just want off the top. I sent you this earlier, but I just want off the top of your head. Best Batman.
Yes. My best Batman.
Best Batman, yeah.
Michael Keaton.
Best Joker.
Jack Nicholson.
Best superhero film you've seen?
Infinity War.
Worst superhero film you've seen? I know we've said
Fantastic Four 2, Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Underrated film.
Well, superhero or comic?
Both. We'll do both. Do one of each.
Scott Pilgrim. Scott Pilgrim gets nowhere near enough love as it deserves.
Yeah, that's very true. I hear no one talking about it.
Bastards.
And comic? Or is that superhero? What one's that? That kind of does both, doesn't it?
Both.
Yeah, we'll do that. What do you want to see next in the MCU?
Galactus.
Yeah, me too. What do you want to see next in the DC?
Batman. The Batman.
And
I think that's going to be ace.
I'm going to steal your Nemesis film idea as what you want to see from an outside.
That'd be sick.
Okay, this one might take a little longer. How do you want the Fantastic Four and X-Men to come into the MCU?
Well. I'd like them to come in well.
It's hard, isn't it? But I think it's such a good talking point for fans of comics. Wilk Martin says X-Men by the Scarlet Witch. That's not a bad shout, actually. Yeah.
That would certainly make life a lot easier.
I think.
Go on.
My brother's Fantastic Four is he wants them to be out in space, already with their powers. Or he said that the Fantastic Four are in the past or something. He'll write it in a second. But Fantastic Four, I reckon they could easily just be in space, working for S.W.O.R.D. or something. and they're just doing their thing. Maybe they've already got their powers. Here we go. Fantastic Four were around in the 50s and went to the negative zone and got the powers, and left the negative zone, and then the time difference made them come back now.
That makes a lot of sense.
X-Men,
I'll go with that.
Yeah,
I'll go with that.
He's very passionate about that, and he makes me want that to happen. So that, or they're just off in space with sword or something. X-Men, I reckon they're going to bring in with Doctor Strange in the multiverse.
Strong potential.
So I've got this topic of scenes to discuss, and the main one I wanted to discuss. I don't want hate for this, but I think the scene that nobody needed, and I'll explain why it wasn't needed. But it was a scene in Endgame where all the women lined up to we run the show. I'll tell you why. Captain Marvel could have just easily flew like she did for all the other films across. We've already seen the women be badass enough on their own. We know that they're super awesome. I just didn't need to see them all stroll up when Captain Marvel could just be like, yeah, I'm just going to go. I don't want to do this walk on.
I don't think, with that, I don't think it had anything to do with powers, superheroes, characters. That was a stand for equal rights for women in film.
True.
It was. I think it's important. I think it's important that. Obviously everything
moment was none of them actually knew each other, which that's true, yeah. But for me, we all know how superpowered these people. But now you said that, Phelps, that's actually changed my mind. That is about.
Oh no, it doesn't have to change your mind at all.
No, I'm looking at it from a different angle now.
You don't need to. You don't need to. That was how you portrayed it, and that is absolutely fine. That is absolutely correct. You were correct in what you were saying. Captain Marvel could have come in, blown the shit out of everyone like she with the powers that she had.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have mattered if she had men behind her, women behind her, machines behind her, because she could have just done it all.
Exactly. And we saw that when she was fighting Thanos.
Exactly.
My
thought that was like a stand up to the film industry.
Yeah.
Hands down, simple as.
My sister-in-law has the best name for Captain Marvel, and that's Captain Convenient.
Captain Convenient.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It always makes me laugh whenever I hear that. Well, Martin, that's very true. Would have been cool if any of them were developed more. You know what? The women that came on the screen were super powerful. The only one I questioned was Mantis, because I still don't really know what her powers are. She couldn't put Thanos to sleep. I don't know if she's a skilled hand-to-hand combatant. But, yeah.
That's a good point.
Then, for some reason, Thanos needs to take the Power Stone and use it to absolute bull. Next point, kind of a sad one, but Black Panther. They've already confirmed they're not recasting him, which I think is very good. What do you think is going to happen with the film?
Next line to the throne.
Okay.
The next Black Panther will be as he was to his father.
So, would you say they'll just do a new trial, or would you like to see Shuri take over?
I'd love to see Shuri take it.
Would you like to see Shuri do that, or would you like to see Shuri take over as Iron Man? I'd love to see Shuri take that. Because I think she'd be an awesome... Well, Iron Woman, obviously.
Shuri was Black Panther. That'd be amazing. That'd be so good.
My two thoughts would be either M'Baku takes over Wakanda. I think people love him because of the meme that happened from the film, like the "I will not have it all." I won't do the accent anymore, but that his speech he done, which was awesome. Or Killmonger's not dead and he'll take over. So that's my thoughts for Black Panther. Martin wants Shuri to take over. Shuri become Black Panther in the comics. Depends if she got a blip and then M'Baku take her. Yeah, true. I'm not sure about the new Blade film. I mean, he will never be Wesley Snipes, but I think Marshala, if I'm saying it right, Ali, is going to do a fantastic job. Oh,
I
Claire, the
think so
Rhinos will
too.
not take over.
I look forward to seeing more Blade.
Yeah,
There's not been enough Blade.
Hopefully, a Blade R-rated.
It'd have to be.
It has to be, right?
You can't mess with that.
Um,
They had enough bottle to give Deadpool the R rating. So,
just the state of the DC universe, because we've got
needs
a new
work.
Batman, we've got the Snyder Cut taking up everyone's hearts, kind of thing at the moment. So they're going to carry on with that and get a new Cyborg. They're going to get Ben Affleck on board again. Is Ezra Miller back on board? Like,
don't know. It's a lot. It's up in the air. It's up in the air. It's so up in the air. The Schneider Cut coming in has really changed a lot.
Throwing a massive Mjolnir in the works, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really has.
What's going to happen next with Captain America and Iron Man? I won't spoil anything from the Falcon series, but Captain America 4 is being written by the showrunner of Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm more than happy for Falcon to be Captain America in the movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really, really, really want you to watch the Falcon Winter Soldier when you get a chance.
I am going to. I'm gonna watch Falcon Winter Soldier before I watch WandaVision.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Watch that first.
Yeah, that's my plan.
Iron Man.
Yeah.
Go on. No, you go.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Iron Man, I was talking to my brother and sisters today, and we all reckon that Downey Jr. is already coming back, but he'll be like a virtual reality, just like it. I've got a Thunderbolts comic here where he's dead but alive. I think he died in Civil War 2 or something, but he's alive, but like as a AI, but you can see him, so like a virtual reality. Or he's gonna be like the Jarvis in the next Iron Man suit, if that makes sense.
That's exactly what I would have said.
Yeah.
The first thing I was gonna say was, it'll be Jarvis in a suit. It's gonna be an AI, but obviously Jarvis was Ultron.
So yeah, either he's gonna take over an Iron Man suit and just walk around as a robot. He'll be like this virtual blue thing, or he'll be in the next suit for Iron Man.
Or see what happens with Doctor Strange with these multiverses, because if multiverses go snap, I don't think Tony Stark will come back. I think his daughter at the start of Endgame,
Morgan,
could come into the fold and become Iron.
He uploaded his conscious, They need to do a He-Man film. I'd watch it. I think
He-Man. I think there was supposed to be one, wasn't there?
Probably. Aren't they doing a Thundercats film or something?
Kevin Smith's written and directed a new He-Man cartoon for Netflix. We're just waiting for it to come out.
Oh, nice. Armor Wars show coming up. Captain Marvel put him in a coma. Kevin Smith's making a Netflix team. Yep.
Here we go.
Who do you want in the next Avengers team?
Black Panther.
Black Panther?
The new iteration.
Characters. Let's do 5 characters who you want.
Okay. It's going to be the new iteration of Black Panther. Sam as Captain America. I truly think you need an Iron Man style character. So whatever the new iteration of Iron Man, Iron Person,
that's fine.
Woman is going to be. Hulk. You need
Bruce
a Hulk.
Banner Hulk.
Yes.
Yep. So Professor Hulk.
Until they go down, and Professor Hulk's one of my favourites of favourite iterations of Hulk.
Yeah.
Unless you start going down the line of Young Avengers, when you'll have Hulkling, but we'll save that for another day.
Maybe in the future I might do Champions or something. But one more.
And a fifth. Wolverine.
Oh, beautiful! Yeah,
it'd be sick to get Wolverine.
So good, get him in there. Yeah, I want Sam Wilson, Captain America. I would love to have either Star-Lord or Rocket come over and join the team. Rocket could be the brains, because I want to say he's smarter than Tony Stark. So I'm gonna do. No,
it's your opinion. You can say
both
whatever you
I'm
like.
chucking both of them in. I'm chucking Iron Man, Rocket, and Star-Lord. Why not? So Captain America, Sam, Star-Lord, Rocket. Let's chuck in Spider-Man, and I'm gonna throw Agent Venom in because he's my favourite Venom, and I don't know if possible he could go big if he needed to. Yeah, that's my team.
Yeah, that's true.
Damien says they've said it's going to be Shang-Chi, Blade, Jane Foster, Thor, and Falcon and Hulk. Okay, nice. Naomi wants Iron Fist. I don't want Iron Fist, thank you. Okay, this is a question for everyone.
Wilt Martin says, cannot wait for She-Hulk, by the way.
Yes, and that's Rosario Dawson, right? Or am I wrong in thinking that? She was in Luke Cage, wasn't she?
Yes.
No, it's not Rosario Dawson. Who's I'm sure they've casted and released the actor. No, it is her? Oh, okay. Yeah, this is a question for everyone. Who is going to be... I mean, me and Phelps kind of already said who we'd like, but who's going to be the next MCU big bad?
Got to be Galactus.
Galactus? I'd like Galactus.
I can't think without really sitting and thinking about it, because with the quick fire, I don't think you can go above Thanos unless it's Galactus.
Me and my brother Damien were talking about Kang being the next big bad.
Kang, yeah.
So
Norman Osborn, that'd be quite interesting to see, actually.
But could he be the next big bad after Thanos? I don't know if he's that big.
In a different way.
Or Doctor Doom would be an awesome one.
Yeah, which also would be your step in with the fan for.
Yeah.
Doctor Doom would be good, actually. Yeah. I want to see Galactus.
Yeah.
I want to see that helmet and that throne.
Yeah, 100%.
And a good version of Silver Surfer.
Yeah. If we're sticking with Snyder's Justice League, are we going to go straight to Darkseid?
Probably.
Yeah, you don't think they're gonna grab Bizarro? Bizarro's not gonna be big enough, is he?
Not as a main villain.
No.
But then again, neither was Steppenwolf.
They could. Apparently, there's a scene in Justice League. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Phelps. Apparently, there's a scene in the Justice League film with Lex Luthor talking to Deathstroke again. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Spider-Man films, and then this is the last one, but I've got one that I would like to discuss. But Spider-Man films, what do you reckon? Is Doctor Strange going to wipe everyone's memory or something, and they don't know who Peter Parker is again?
Don't know. Yeah. I hope so.
Because that's coming out this year, apparently. The next Spider-Man.
I loved Far From Home up until everyone knew Spider-Man was.
Yeah, that's the same as Brother.
I really hated that. Yeah. I was like, oh, why did you do that?
Yeah.
Strong potential. Doctor Strange is he's got the capability, isn't he? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, that's a fantastic idea, actually, what Robert just said. Peter Parker may sod off, and Daredevil might be Spider-Man or something like that, because that's happened in comics before, and my brother loves that as well. I really want a good film portraying my favourite X-Men, everyone's favourite Creole, Remy LeBeau, aka Gap. Well, they're meant to be doing bloody Channing Tatum for years, aren't they? But
that's been a rumour for since Wolverine Origins.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see Gambit.
Yeah,
I
would like to see
a better, a better canon version of Gambit.
Film, I'd like to see him.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that is the end. But I want to talk about everyone's favourite Merc with a mouth, the one and only Deadpool.
David Hasselhoff.
David Hasselhoff, but no. I want to talk about Deadpool. He
Cool.
has to come into the MCU. I've got 3 ways that I want him to be in the MCU.
Go for it, because currently I have none.
The first one, my brother, it takes all the credit for this one. I've not seen anyone on the internet ever mention this. But my brother said, following on from this comic, Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe.
Yeah. That'd be good.
His idea is... I can't remember what my brother's reason is to make him start killing everyone. But the ending is Deadpool just like snapping out of it, and Steve Rogers is interrogating him. So it was just in his head, and he's like in a S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters. I can't remember what makes him snap
currently
in his head, but
from the end of the other ending of oh sure, but which one was it? When it turns out that like half of them are Skrulls.
Yeah.
What film was
Captain
that
Marvel.
in?
Captain Marvel.
No, but you're like the end credits. Was it Spider-Man Far From Home?
Yes, it was Spider-Man Far From Home.
Far From Home, when it turns out like Nick Fury is a Skrull.
Yeah.
And the real Nick Fury is
In space
shacked up on a space cowboy ranch or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or whatever it was. Yeah, they're gonna have to do something with that now, where the Skrulls have infiltrated Earth.
Yeah.
And the heroes and all. Maybe that's how you
he
get
goes
them.
around killing. Yeah, okay. My what I would like to see is we don't get a Deadpool film, but Deadpool takes over from the king of cameos, and he just pops up in every film, just in the background, just doing something. That's what I'd like to see. So maybe he turns up in the Avengers, but don't give him a film because he's not going to be R-rated. So just chuck him in the background of every film, and that'll be the new Stanley.
Yeah, that's really good.
I haven't seen it anywhere. Really I think that'd be awesome. And the third thing, which they have kind of done already, but on Disney's Cartoon Spider-Man, they had a Deadpool episode, and that was perfect. Yeah. It was against Taskmaster. Spider-Man was constantly trying to stop Deadpool from like killing people. But yeah,
Spider-Man Deadpool had a really successful comic team-up run.
I really want to get it, but it's a bit expensive. But yeah, either Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe, Deadpool is the new Stanley as a cameo king, or we get a Spider-Man Deadpool team up. I think that's good.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Deadpool's favourite superhero is Spider-Man, you're right. But yeah, that's what I'd like to see.
Snuff said maybe you could break the fourth wall and enter the universe through the front gate of the studio.
That's brilliant. How funny would that be?
Oh, that'd be so good. That would
just
be good.
Walk into... That would be very good, actually, Dr. Snuff. Well done. But yeah, that is it. We've just hit the 2-hour mark.
That was episode 1.
Yeah. So I hope you all enjoyed it. If anyone's got any last comments before we end up. But yeah, I think we truly delved into the world of the superhero movies.
Yeah, I think we've ticked a lot of boxes there.
Yeah, special guest next week it's not next week, but we'll see. Yeah, that was on the topic of comics. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you.
Big love.